Hello to you, fellow being. Infinite Spiral here, and we are back again in Kerbal Space Program, and we're here on Duna! Oh my god. And, yeah, we got our flag planted, we got all of our science done, got surface sample and EVA report and all that good stuff, as well as all the crap that's up there in the ship. And, I did, however, forget to get any data from space. I did get a crew report from orbit over a specific site, but I don't necessarily know if that counts. So, well, I was thinking about getting a bunch of it while we were taking off, but that wouldn't be from space, that would be from atmosphere. So I am gonna have to make sure I do that on my way out from here. So let's just go ahead and get back up there. Also, I screwed up when I was attaching my ladders. I thought that I would be able to climb sideways from this ladder to this one, but it doesn't work. So I'm just lucky that Duna has low enough gravity and thin enough atmosphere that I can still use my EVA propellant to get myself up there. So the ladders were not entirely necessary, but they are certainly useful. Because if I'm not careful with that EVA pack, I mean, first of all, we could run out. That would sort of take a lot of extraneous use. I should probably close that also. Don't want those doors to snap off during takeoff. So we'll do that, and let's get in. But yeah, the ship is tilted, but boy is it ever standing. That's all that matters. So I don't know how this takeoff is going to go. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine, but I suppose there's really only one way to find out. I'm just going to double check that I did get the materials. Yes, I did. Okay. So, I guess let's get to... Oh. What the hell? I thought one of my... Well, okay, never mind. I thought I had left a panel extended, but apparently when I quick saved and loaded back in, it, oh, yep, it's lying. It says retract panels. This one is extended, and you can see it kind of poking out the side. So, yeah, we'll do that real quick. Glad I caught that. I don't know if it could have broken off taking off, but, you know, there's a possibility. I'm just going to double check all the rest of them. That was the only one that I had opened, and it is still the only one. So, alright, it's time to see if we can get ourselves into orbit. So what does that look like? Yep, just going to go straight. Wow, we landed like right on the equator. Nice. Alright, here we go. I'm nervous. Oh, yeah, SAS might be useful. So we're probably going to run out of fuel. Wow. Wow, this is working out really well. Duna's not that hard to take off from. I was freaking out for nothing. So let's bring those gears up and see what this... Oh my god. Duna is super easy. Holy crap. Alright, I didn't need to freak out at all. I mean, it's still coming down because we're in atmosphere, but holy shit. You know? Yeah, there goes the cloud layer, the topmost cloud layer. So let's just do some time warping. And I'll go ahead and fast forward for you until we get into orbit, because that's going to be no trouble at all. Alright, we've got ourselves a nice circular orbit. And I decided to go ahead and take the science data while I was still suborbital, and it counted as in space over Duna, low over Duna, and one of them actually said over one of the biomes, which was interesting. The rest of them didn't, only one did. It was the gravity detector, or gravioli detector, yeah. Anyway, not important. And I did find out that when it says things are stowed, it does mean that they're in the cargo bay, even if they don't superficially appear to be, because I couldn't deploy my the one solar panel that I had that I glitched out and that I put back in its thing while the cargo bay was open, and yeah, I couldn't take it out until I opened the cargo bay again. So that was interesting to find out, and that was what happened with my parachutes previously. That was a while back. But yeah, this is done. I think that's all we needed to do with this craft. So we've got data from space, we need to get the temperatures with the satellite, and we've got the surface science, That's for later. That's for later. Yeah, we're good. We're done with this craft, except for bringing it back to Kerbin. So, excellent! That is good. Now, it's time to get down to business and get these temperature scans with the satellite. Alright, so let's take a look at what our current situation is. Alright, so it looks like we've got just one site that's about to rotate into our orbital path, and it is DWB-D. I am pretty sure that that is the one that needs to be below DWD. Yep, that is the one that needs to be below 11K, and that is absolutely the last one that we want to do. So, I think, I don't know, I could time warp to get things into place. That would be the most efficient way to do it, and it's probably the way I'm going to do it, with the majority of them at least. So, yeah, these two, well, all three of them will eventually rotate into place under this area, and shortly after that, these ones will follow suit. And yeah, let's just do that. I mean, I don't know, we've got a decent amount of fuel. Well, we have a tiny amount of fuel because it's a tiny satellite, but I think we have the ability to do quite a bit with it. I just don't want to risk, you know, not having fuel to perform the final maneuver of setting this encounter up. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to time warp to get this trio at least. And then we'll see about getting the rest. So, let us head back to the tracking station to do our time warping, because we're, you know, in sort of a low orbit. We wouldn't be able to save any time trying to time warp those into place. It'd take forever. Now, I think if I... Okay, no. I thought I might be able to go straight to the tracking station by looking at Ike, but that doesn't work. I think it only works with these unowned objects. So, yep, view and tracking station. Excellent. Okay, and then swap back over to Duna. And time warp until these rotate into place. So let's do it. Oh, I might have gone too long. No? Kind of? Yeah, we missed one already. Shit, I wasn't paying attention to the orientation, the inclination, or what have you. So, yeah, I think... Yeah, let's switch back to the probe. No, not the ship, the probe. Okay, yeah, we were on it. And now, if we change orientation with, what, an anti-normal burn, I believe? Yeah, we would be rotating, so our inclination will rotate around this axis where we are. And that would allow us to... It'd be better to do it here, I think. In either case, we can move our orbit in front of this one again. So let's just do that real quick with an anti-normal burn. Yeah, it's not taking too much. We're at full burn. We've gone through almost a unit of fuel already, and it's now in front of it, but it'll rotate out of place before we get that far. So I want to get to, I want to say, well, that's getting close. Yeah, I think that's good. So hopefully one more orbit will not be too little. Or too much, rather. Words! Hopefully this rotates under our orbit perfectly. Seems like about the right rate. Maybe not. Maybe we went a little bit too far. Or maybe it's perfect. Oh, I like the looks of this. Yeah, okay. So, we're just going to go a little bit further, and it's like right under us. We could do another, yeah, it'd be anti-normal again to get it back into place. Just to get it more perfectly. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Just for safety and impatience. Alright, that's enough. I'm pretty sure this is going to count. So that is Werner's Passion. Which is above 12.5 kilometers. We're definitely above that, so we can go forward until we enter. And we've entered. Excellent. Okay, so we need one temperature scan right here and now. Log temperature. Beautiful. That's one. One and done. So now we need to do the same thing with the time warping until this one gets in. So here we go. Okay, I thought I was patient enough to do it on this screen, but I'm not. I'm going back to the tracking station. Wait. It occurs to me now that that is never going to rotate into our orbit, because our orbit is too highly inclined to go over that area. So it's just going to keep rotating straight through, whereas our orbit is never going to be over that. Okay. In that case, we need to do some changes at the equator, and I think... Now, I was thinking about pushing my orbit up so I could time warp faster, but according to a recent comment, the closer to a gravitational body I am, the more effective my maneuvers are. I think... I don't know if that's the case with normal and anti-normal. That might just be prograde and retrograde. So... yeah, I'm going to push my orbit out, because I've already seen how much it costs to make changes to the inclination, and I think it'll be more efficient to do it from a higher altitude. And it would be most efficient, I think, to put the apoapsis at the equator where I want to make my maneuver. So, that was poorly planned. Alas, yeah, we've got lots of time. Nothing but time. Let's just warp over here and put the apoapsis out there. Although I suppose it doesn't matter which side of the equator I'm doing this at. Do it right here, so... there we go. Alright, excellent. So now I'll go to the apoapsis, change inclination to get so it actually goes over those areas, and yeah, we'll continue from there. Alright, so yes, it is definitely more effective to change inclination at the apoapsis when it's further from the planet, because I went through a lot less fuel doing that than I would have at a lower altitude. So, we've got that done, and now we are waiting for both of those to rotate under our orbit, and it looks like that's going to happen pretty soon. Actually, it looks like one of them's already out. But it's rotating. No, it's going to rotate back in. Yeah, weird. So they're both on their way towards rotating into our orbit, which is beautiful. So let's just see about getting them. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, no, that was DWBD again. We do not want that. Alright, let's see if this is going to be close enough to this one. It might be. Or it might not be. Okay. But this one should be. Yes? No? Really? Fark. I really thought that one would count. So that one already rotated out of place, which means we need to either go and fix that again, or instead just focus on these ones, which are going to rotate in. I think that's the better plan. So, let's just get back to time warping. Oh, fuck me. God. My timing was just off. We were just entered and exited when I jumped into the time warp. Son of a bitch. Oh well. No big deal. We can still carry on as though that didn't happen. Yeah, that one's coming in right now. So let's just make sure we're, looking at things right, because we need to be right here. It needs to be directly under us. I think that was my problem. I had the wrong angle. There we are. We're entering sector Kurg. Ah, son of a bitch! It was so fast. It's a tiny little sector. I'm a fool. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll get that one again. Maybe we'll have to fix it. In either case, we're gonna focus on getting this next one, although it might rotate out by the time we come back around. We shall see. And also, what's going on with this one? Yeah, that's already out too. Drat! And blast! And other such expletives. Alright, so I'm just gonna, adjust my inclination again to try and pick these up on this pass. Well, at least one of them. And you get the basic idea here. I'm getting all of the temperature scans. So I'll go ahead and fast forward until it's time to get this super dangerous one at the low altitude, because I'm going to have to either lose my solar panels in the process of getting that because we'll be so low in the atmosphere, or, you know, just bring them into the ship and risk running out of electricity. But I don't think that's a real risk because we have a whole lot. So anyway, fast forwarding for your pleasure. All right, I think this is it. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. I thought we might be able to get it on this pass, but we are definitely coming in way too high. So I've moved our periapsis to be on roughly the same latitude, and all we need to do is wait for it to rotate into the longitude and bring our periapsis down to under 11.8 kilometers. Oh, that is so low. That is scary. But this is the path we chose, so let's see how long it takes from periapsis to apoapsis. How far it moves, rather. Because I've moved the periapsis down to just above the edge of... Oh, we were in the... Yeah, never mind. I knew that we were going to go over it on that pass, we just didn't have the right altitude. And there was no way to really set it up for that altitude, especially with the low fuel situation that we are in. But here we are, and our path basically keeps us over it for the entire time that it covers this arc here. I could probably lower, or not lower, but change the inclination near the equator to bring the periapsis slightly lower, because it looks like it is still a little too high on the longitude, or latitude. Yes, latitude. So yeah, I think I should do that as we cross the equator over here. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, and that will keep us over the site for a longer period of time and over a larger area. So, I mean, you know, depending on how many passes it takes is what I'm saying. And I think, yeah, we'll try for this pass. And I don't know, if we bring our periapsis down... No, I'm going to wait till it's actually under periapsis and then bring the periapsis down to under the requirement. Because if we can keep this thing from crashing, that would be optimal. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'd like to try for it. So we're going to go for a couple more passes, a couple more orbits, as we wait for it to get under the periapsis. Well, I may have misjudged just how long or how far it would move over that period of time, so it's going to be probably over here, past the periapsis, about the same distance that it is from it already. So I'm going to need to move the periapsis with a radial in, and yeah, we'll do that at the apoapsis while bringing periapsis down to the requirement. Alright, well, our periapsis is now at 9.6 kilometers, and I was wrong about it being radial in. It's actually radial out, but we can't do very much to fix the positioning of the periapsis while we're here at the apoapsis, so we're going to have to do that as we come further in. So let's just do that real quick. Well, that's not good. We needed to make our adjustment closer to here, it looks like. But I failed to do that, so we could potentially try and burn at periapsis and just keep radialing in. Well, of course, the atmosphere is also going to drag us down. I don't know how much, and I wish there was a way to judge what our altitude would be right here. It looks like it wouldn't be high enough, though. Yeah, because the line would come under the edge of that marker, so... That is that, and I think we're going to have to just keep radialing in as we come towards the periapsis. That is what we're going to have to do. Because we don't really have the fuel. I guess we could also, instead of doing that, we could bring the periapsis back up, but we're also approaching it, so time is short. I'm going to keep radialing in. Yes, that's my plan. So let's see how that goes. Also, I'm going to quick save in case it fails miserably. Okay, well I am definitely glad that I did that quick save, because we have tried this and failed miserably a number of times now. So first things first, we're going to transmit the data that we have, which will free up all of these thermometers and also, you know, save the data, because there is absolutely no way to save this satellite. It is going to crash into Duna. That altitude that is required here is way too low to do anything with this satellite, especially with the tiny amount of fuel that we have left. As an added bonus, I didn't even think about the fact that transmitting that data gets us this this contract. So that's done. Yay! But we need to do a slight anti-normal burn, because we're actually coming in too high above our target. So just do that real quick. And that is a bit better. That should do the trick for that particular line. Now we need to radial out, bring our periapsis up. I'm gonna try 32 kilometers, yes. Maybe even higher than that. It's tough. It's really tough to judge this right. There's weird, unpredictable effects. Sometimes my solar panels act like wings, so that as we come in, our periapsis actually rises instead of falling as the atmosphere affects us. You know, eventually that stops and it turns into our apoapsis and comes down, but yeah, it's this weird, unpredictable behavior, so it's very difficult to judge this. It's a lot bigger challenge than I was expecting it to be, so we're gonna get pointed radial in, I guess, just in case 30's too high. Yeah, let's see what happens. So we have entered atmosphere, and yeah, periapsis started coming up for a second, but now it's dropping the way it should. And basically the atmosphere is affecting us in sort of a radial in type of burn. That's basically what's going on. I mean, it's like a radial in plus retrograde, essentially. And I really hope that this works out. The periapsis is high, but decaying, that's the word. It is high but decaying. So we're gonna see what happens. It's a dynamic process. It changes over time. And yeah, it's getting low. Just has to get low fast enough. So yeah, we're going suborbital right now. Like so. And now it's just a question of where that line ends up terminating in reference to us. So I am going to point ourselves radial out again, because there you can see it's coming in way too fast. And there goes our fuel. Apoapsis is still high, but this is looking okay. Oh, fuck. We are way too high in terms of latitude, so we need anti-normal burn to try and correct that. It's probably not going to be enough, and we're going to use up the rest of our fuel doing that instead of being able to judge where the termination point is and control for it. So there it is. We're out of fuel, and now it is in the hands of fate. If we land right there, then we need to get our measurement in just the tiniest fraction of the tiniest amount of time. Okay. This is interesting. It might work out. I think we're going to actually enter the site. This is the one. This is it right here. Oh god. What does this look like? Oh. Let's exit time warp. No more physical time warp. And we haven't entered the area yet, which is very unfortunate. So I am just going to get a thermometer open and ready to hit the button the second we enter the area, because we are under the required altitude already. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on, enter the area, please. We've still got some time before we crash, clearly. Oh, we've entered the area. This is it. Excellent. We've got it. Let's transmit the data real quick. That should complete. Yes, contract complete. Beautiful. Oh, this was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. So let's see if we get to finish transmitting before crashing. I think we do. Excellent. 20 more science. Good deal. Oh, man. All right, well, say goodbye to the... Oh, hello. There we go. Stability assist. Yes. Say goodbye to the Duna probe. This satellite is done for. If I could accelerate into the ground, I would, but I am out. Let's re-extend this. Just for good measure. Here we come! Hello, Duna! Give me a hug! And that, as they say, is that. We're gonna conclude the episode with that. And in our next episode, we'll return home with the rest of our science. And having completed the rest of the contracts, which is gorgeous! Yes! Well, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. If you enjoyed what you saw here, feel free to leave a like. If you would like to keep seeing more and haven't already subscribed, feel free to do that as well. I'm Infinite Spiral, this is Kerbal Space Program, and we will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.